The downfall of Dr. Todd is drawing closer, as Charity Dingle is finally set to reveal the terrifying blackmail ordeal she has endured. The villain recently disappeared from the village after attacking Charity in deeply disturbing scenes. Todd had been threatening Charity ever since discovering that baby Leyla was actually her daughter rather than Serena Sugden's child. After forcing Charity to hand over money, Todd became furious when Charity eventually refused to be controlled. Taking advantage of Charity while she was intoxicated, Todd later assaulted her and then attempted to cover up what had happened. Although Charity initially reported Todd to the police, Todd strongly denied all accusations. When officers informed Charity that there was not enough evidence to proceed, she decided to withdraw her statement, allowing Todd to act as though Charity had fabricated the entire story. During Tuesday's episode, Charity reached her emotional limit. Newly arrived Serena Sugden stepped in to support her, and Charity finally confessed everything, including the assault, the truth about baby Leyla, and the blackmail she had suffered. Serena encouraged Charity to come forward and expose Todd, even if it meant revealing long-hidden secrets to her family. Charity worried about how her husband Mac and granddaughter Sarah would react once the truth came out. However, Serena insisted that keeping everything hidden was only making things worse, and that telling the truth would ultimately free her. Serena then helped Charity consider the steps needed to finally bring Todd to justice. She advised Charity that any text messages exchanged with Todd could serve as important evidence of the blackmail. Serena's guidance gave Charity the courage she needed, and she decided it was time to tell the police the full story. Before doing so, Charity returned home and informed Mac that she had something important to confess. It appears that this will be the moment Charity finally reveals both the blackmail and what Todd did to her, which could also lead to Mac learning the truth about baby Leyla. Upcoming spoilers confirm that Charity will revisit the police station to make a formal report against Todd. As a result, Todd's downfall now seems inevitable. However, next week Charity learns that the blackmail case will be investigated separately from the assault allegation, leaving her devastated and fearing that her confession may have achieved nothing. Feeling hopeless, Charity begins to regret exposing the truth, convinced that Todd could still avoid punishment. Elsewhere, Serena raises suspicions when she accidentally reveals that she knows about Robert's murderous brother John. At the same time, Kev is left puzzled after recognizing Serena from somewhere in his past. Lewis Barton's nightmare in Emmerdale has taken an even darker turn, and his situation is becoming increasingly heartbreaking. Kev Townsend appeared to be the only person capable of rescuing the kidnapped Lewis, but instead, he currently finds himself unconscious on Ross Barton's sofa after being struck and knocked out by Ross. It leaves many wondering what Ross was thinking. Kev made his dramatic return after learning from Liam Kavanagh that Lewis had been abducted. The captor, Kylie, had informed the family that Lewis would only be released if Kev handed over Penny. Initially, Ross and Liam believed Penny was a woman, but Kev soon revealed that Penny was actually a valuable diamond necklace. Kev explained that the necklace had been left at a pawnbroker's shop. Furious, Ross ordered him to leave and made it clear that he should not come back without the item. However, once outside, it became obvious that Kev was hiding something. He was already in possession of the diamond and had no plans to return it to Kylie. Meanwhile, Lewis continued suffering during the latest episode as he remained imprisoned inside Kylie's house. The young man is enduring an incredibly traumatic ordeal. He has been taken to an unfamiliar place by people he does not know after masked men forced him into the back of a van. The experience has been especially distressing because Lewis depends heavily on routine and structure in his everyday life. Being unable to follow his usual habits has caused his anxiety to rise dramatically. During his captivity, Lewis began stimming in front of Kylie, a behavior often used by neurodivergent individuals to help regulate overwhelming emotions. Surprisingly, Kylie showed a rare moment of compassion and attempted to comfort him, although she remained unwilling to set him free. Back in the village, Kev eventually reconsidered his decision to keep the necklace. He returned to Daleview and claimed that he had successfully recovered it from the pawnbrokers. With the necklace in hand, Kev held the key to Lewis's freedom. However, in a shocking move, Ross struck Kev with a vase and rendered him unconscious. A stunned Liam watched on as Ross insisted that keeping Kev captive would serve as insurance during the exchange with Kylie. Even so, many viewers may question whether such drastic action was necessary. With Kev now unconscious, Lewis is destined to remain in captivity for even longer. The longer his ordeal continues, the greater the concern over the emotional state he will be in when he is finally rescued. Emmerdale has finally revealed where Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle have disappeared to, and thankfully, fans can relax. Viewers tend to panic whenever Aaron and Robert vanish from the village, and considering everything they have been through, it's easy to understand why. The fan-favourite couple have endured more than their fair share of drama over the years. Following Robert's release from prison last year, after serving time for killing his sister's attacker, the pair finally seemed to have found happiness again. For a brief moment, their complicated and often turbulent relationship appeared stronger than ever. But in true soap fashion, peace was never going to last. Their reunion faced a major threat when Robert's prison husband, Kev Townsend, arrived in the village. Determined to win Robert back, Kev resorted to desperate and dangerous measures, including faking a terminal illness and even attacking Aaron with a sword. Despite the chaos, Robert and Aaron's relationship survived, and Kev eventually left the village, heartbroken. Unfortunately, Kev was far from the only obstacle standing in their way. Their Christmas celebrations took a dark turn when Aaron's former husband and Robert's half-brother, John Sugden, returned. John's sinister plan involved murdering Robert and framing Aaron for the crime. However, events took an unexpected twist when John himself died in the woods after being injected with drugs by his sister, Victoria Sugden. Following the tragedy, Victoria decided to leave the country and stay in Portugal until matters settled down, leaving Robert devastated by losing his sister. Soon afterwards, life appeared to improve for the couple once again. When Kane and Moira were forced to give up Butler's farm, Robert reclaimed his late father Jack's home, becoming the first member of the Sugden family to live there since Andy's departure in 2009. However, the achievement came with controversy after Robert framed Moira for people trafficking and modern slavery as part of Joe Tate's latest scheme. Just as fans believed Robert and Aaron could finally enjoy some peace, Kev unexpectedly returned to the village. The notorious troublemaker is now caught up in a disturbing kidnap storyline involving his long-lost son, Lewis Barton. Although Lewis remains at the centre of the current drama, viewers are understandably concerned that Robert and Aaron could soon become involved, particularly since Robert never officially divorced Kev, preventing him from marrying Aaron. Thankfully, a preview scene offers some reassuring news. Ross Barton becomes anxious about Lewis's safety and seeks information from Ryan Stocks regarding Robert's whereabouts. Frustrated by Ryan's teasing responses, Ross eventually phones Robert directly to question him about Kev. The reason Robert is unavailable soon becomes clear. He and Aaron are currently in Portugal visiting Victoria. After everything they have recently endured, the couple are taking some much-needed time away from the village. Robert appears to be fully embracing his holiday, as his relaxed and unhelpful responses leave Ross increasingly irritated. Ross eventually ends the conversation sarcastically, telling Robert to enjoy the trip and jokingly hoping their plane makes it home safely. Emmerdale is broadcast every weekday at 8 p.m. on ITV1, with episodes also available to stream on ITVX.